Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's EURGBP Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. We've seen the market tumbling on Friday, but that has been a long time coming. We've been seeing those moves coming for a long time. So the theme for this week, guys, is what moves the market. I have done a video a couple of years ago, I think about 3 years, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll try to refer you to that video where I was trying to answer the exact same question that I'm asking now. What moves the market? What moves the market? Is it the technicals or is it the fundamentals? What do you have a control over? So our view, as far as we are concerned, because we trade the Elliott wave theory, we believe in the technicals. We do not ignore the fundamentals, because that is just a catalyst to move the trades in the direction that we've already predicted. So I will be showing you exactly what I mean by that with a few examples. An example in point here, as you've seen the market tumbling and you've seen pound US dollar, euro US dollar, Audi US dollar, New Zealand US dollar, all the pairs that are against the US dollar have tumbled on Friday, but that has been a long-term time coming, as you have seen. So let's have a look at pound US dollar. And I want to specifically refer you to pound US dollar, because these moves, if you keep watching these videos, or if you've been watching these videos for a while, you will remember a video on the 17th of January. This was just pre-COVID in 2020. Pre-COVID in 2020, if you go to that video, they're all labeled, so you can just go to our YouTube channel and go to the videos and go specifically to the one from 13 to 17 November weekly outlook. And then you will go to the 50th minute, or you can go to the timestamp. We've got timestamps on all our videos. So you can go to the timestamp and just click on pound US dollar. So you can see the analysis that we did on pound US dollar 2 years ago. Now, what moves the market? All right. So you have seen the market tumbling this week, and that is attributed mostly to the hawkish tone that the Fed is taking as far as the interest rates are concerned. So I was reading the news. So here's some of the news from CNBC. This is where they're attributing the current moves, the current drops to. So now this is fundamental news. This is what people are attributing to the fact that to the reason why the market has been dropping on Friday specifically, but we know that these pairs have been dropping for some time now. So let's have a look at these analyses now. Pound US dollar, let's go to that video. I'm going to play it now. I hope you can see it clearly. Let me try to do full screen here so you can have a look at that. So now this was an analysis from 2 years ago, January 2020. Right, so let's play this. So you'll see that I've got a weekly chart open there. So that was 2020 January. I've got a weekly chart. I'm doing an analysis as usual, as I do every week on pound US dollar. So let's play that. Right, so let's just give it a few minutes to let it play. So you'll see that that is the weekly chart, all right? Let me just play the sound as well. So one more down. Let me take here, do that, and do the structure. I think the exact time here, I think let's go. Yes, so the exact time is 49.57. 49.57, that's where the analysis starts, so you can check it from there. So just before 49, you can start it from, let me just move it a bit to 49.40, so you can see where that starts. Okay, let's start it from 49.35. Last year, but we are not expecting pound to reverse anytime soon because of this. Look at that weekly chart. The structure that we have it here in the higher degree, we've already broken out of this. Now, whatever happens here is a corrective structure. That's why I showed you that you expect that you're going to have a deeper corrective structure. Because you cannot, I mean, our focus is to get to this level, but you cannot just go to that level with a one move. So we've got 3 waves up here, 3 waves down here. We're looking for this. This can be impulsive, that's fine. You can even get to this level and crush it. For now. All right, I'm going to hold it there. So I don't know if you can hear the sound, but if you can't hear the sound, you can watch the video on your own. So what I was actually saying here is that pound is going to make a corrective structure here in January, and then it was going to go and break the top there. And after breaking the top, the pound was going to crash. Now, did we know 2 years ago that the Fed was going to have a hawkish tone that is now being attributed to being the reason why the market has been crashing? And the answer is a clear no. We did not know then, but we could see what the structure was building up to be. So we were looking for pound to continue pushing to the upside. This was 1,000 pips, and we've already dropped a couple of hundreds of pips to the downside. We're currently around this area now, where pound is even lower in value compared to the euro. That was unthinkable 2 years ago when pound was rallying, and now look what has happened. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you, and that's what I wanted you guys to clearly understand, that the technicals are always ahead of the fundamentals. The fundamentals are lagging indicators of what we're already seeing as far as the technicals are concerned. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with the recap, obviously. So we always look at how we forecasted the market in the last week, how the market played out, and what we're looking at going into the new week. All right, so guys, if you like our content, please give us a thumbs up and drop us your comments. We value your inputs, and also hit that bell notification button so that you get a notification the next time we upload a video. All right, so let's get started. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to our channel as well. All right, so let's get started with the recaps. And our contact details are on all our videos. Okay, all our videos, you'll find our contact details. Those are all our videos. If I just open one, just open one there, so you can see where the contact details. While we're talking about the contact details, our last course of the year is in November. So if you want to take advantage of our course, you can get a recorded version immediately when you subscribe, and then we'll spend 10 days together in November going through the basics and advanced principle of the Elliott wave theory. So those are the contact details, mobile number.
You need to tear.
Let's just switch off the volume there. All right, so those are the contact details. Telegram link, as well as the links to our social media pages, Twitter and Facebook. You can follow us there. And our website obviously is trading-waves.com. That's where you can make a purchase of your course. So you can choose either a 1-year access together with the course, 2 years access together with the course, or the lifetime plan. If you take the lifetime plan, means you don't pay a cent. After that, you get access to all our services for life. All right, so let's get started. Those are the contact details, and just look out for the timestamps if you're not interested in watching the whole video. Right, so let's go through the timestamps. We use Slack to communicate and to save our links here. So let's just go to Slack. So we'll see what we forecasted in the last week. So this is real analysis. You will see the trades that have played out and those that have not played out, because there is no holy grail. Some play out, some don't. But it's important, or that is why it is important to make sure that you always use risk management. So now this is the DXY. Before and after, and I'm going to be going through those just now. I've already opened those links, so let's just have a look at those. Let's go through them. Now, this is the DXY, the chart before. Remember what we said last week with the analysis? We were still expecting that the DXY will continue to push to the upside, okay? 2 weeks ago, we were around here. We said we are still expecting that this will continue to push to the upside. Last week, we were here. We said, just look out for this correction, and you are still going to see a continuation move to the upside. You will see with Euro US dollar why we expected this to continue pushing to the upside, because we were making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 year on the DXY. And indeed, if you can have a look at how the market has played out in the week, 379 points on the DXY, and this is a leading indicator to the rest of the market. So that's why we always start with the analysis of the DXY. And if you understand the direction of the DXY, most of your trading becomes easy for that week. All right, so let's have a look at that. That's 379 pips. Obviously, the euro is just the inverse of what the DXY was doing. As you will see here, we expected the DXY to continue pushing to the upside because we had a blue box set up here on the euro, and we had this as our chart of the week 2 weeks ago as well. Now, we were expecting that this will drop from the blue box. Blue box is a magic. It's a high probable reversal area. Now, as much as we do not ignore the technicals, we know that they act as a catalyst for our moves to play out quickly. So you can see here already 491 pips in just the last week alone as far as the euro US dollar is concerned. 491 pips. So you can take a calculator and start adding up how many pips we have collected in the last couple of days. So let's have a look here. That's euro US dollar. Pound US dollar, the same. Expected that because the DXY is going to continue pushing to the upside, this will continue dropping. So even if you had looked at this as an ABC corrective structure, which we have here as a wave 4, we're still expecting that pound is going to continue to drop. Okay, so look at that. And as you've seen on Friday, pound has dropped in the last 2 weeks already almost 1,000 pips in just the last 2 weeks alone. So look at that, 900 pips on pound US dollar alone. US dollar chief, we know that US dollar chief follows the dollar index. So that was an easy analysis, or rather, maybe even if it was not easy, we just expected that it will push to the upside. Whether the structure made sense or not, but because of correlation, we'll anticipate that US dollar chief will continue pushing to the upside. Easy analysis, 374 pips. Audi US dollar, the same. Pullback, going for a wave 3. Look at how it plays out. Okay, another 404 pips on Audi US dollar. So this is obvious. These are all pairs that are against the US dollar. Look at that, New Zealand US dollar, an exact replica of Audi US dollar, a pullback in wave 2, expecting a continuation to the downside. How does that play out? A drop. New Zealand US dollar. Okay, where to from here? We're still going to start with the market analysis in a bit, but we're going through what we focused last week, how it played out, and then we're going to look at the outlook going into the new week. New Zealand US dollar, and then this is CAD. CAD was also tricky because it looked like it was dropping, but because we understood the direction of the DXY and that of the euro, we expected that CAD will continue to push to the upside. And if you go to our previous videos, you will see why we're expecting CAD to continue pushing to the upside. Now, this is how it played out, 662 pips on US dollar CAD alone. Right, so it was a gift in the last couple of days on as far as the US dollar pairs are concerned. Euro pound, we were looking at the pound pairs to continue dropping, so it was natural to expect that euro pound will continue pushing to the upside. Another 600 pips. Although this is not just in the last 2 weeks, this one took a bit longer. This is from the beginning of August, but it's 600 pips nonetheless. Gold, a pullback. Obviously, you will not expect the dollar index to rally and go for gold to continue to the upside. When we looked at that pullback, we expected that gold will also drop. And as you can see, we've got a drop on gold, 960 points. Or you can also say from $1,700 to $1,600 is a $100 move on gold. All right. Naturally, platinum will follow gold. As you can see, that pullback on platinum, we expected that to continue dropping to the downside. Look at that Brent crude oil, right? Brent crude oil, we've got a pullback, and I showed 2 weeks ago why there's a possibility that oil can visit the lows of about 3-4 years ago. Okay, so let's have a look here. We had that pullback. We expected oil to continue dropping, obviously because of the US dollar, 347 points on oil, and US dollar, this is the same one. So we had another setup here on oil, right? Brent crude oil, we had another setup, pullback, as you can see, wave 2. We expected that to continue dropping, as you will see, another 197 points on oil. New Zealand CAD, the same pullback, continues to drop, 439 pips. You can add up the pips. New Zealand Chief, we expected it to go into the blue box before dropping. It goes into the blue box, as you can see, and then it drops. Blue box is magic, 516 pips. Right, now pound yen, as I've indicated, so we've been focusing that pound yen is going to continue. All right, so with pound yen here, I want to show you that not all trades always play out. Sometimes we get it wrong, and this is why risk management is absolutely critical. So we're anticipating that pound yen will continue to push up higher before the drop. Okay, so what has happened is that pound has continued to push lower. I will show what the structure is going forward. All right, so what you expect from pound yen is exactly what pound US dollar has done in the last 2 years. So it will have a similar structure as well. So we'll have a look at that. So you can see that we're anticipating that this will continue to push to the upside before the drop, but it dropped before we could get to the upside. Okay, so there was a pound yen and as well as CAD yen. CAD yen as well, we expected one more up before the drop. Okay, so we were looking for this one to give us the fifth wave here before the drop. So obviously we've got that wrong, and the CAD yen has now pushed to the downside. So that does happen. We've got some of those as well, and you will see that on the Dow Jones, we were also expecting that this was going to continue to push to the upside, but that did not play out as anticipated. But will indicate exactly what the structure is that is playing out there. All right, so it's all about the patterns. So there's what that is now Dow Jones Industrial. Let's have a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. So also the Dow Jones, we're anticipating that it was going to continue to push to the upside. All right. And as you can see, we did not get a move to the upside. Right. UK100, we anticipated that this was going to drop here, complete this structure, and push to the upside. And just like the rest of the indices have now continued to push to the downside. We will update the new indices structure. It did not go to the upside as we anticipated, right? So that was what we were looking at on the indices. Now, this is Audi New Zealand. Audi New Zealand, you'll see that this one we focused at some time back in 2021, beginning of the year, rather. This is December the 4th. So this was quite a slow move on Audi yen, as subsequently played out over 1,065 pips. So this has been quite a slow move because it's 1,000 in 8 months, right? So that's fine. But if you are a swing trader and you hold your trade, you should have held on to that one, and it's still going to continue to push to the upside. Now look at this interesting one. So these are the kind of trades that I like, where we focus more than just one move. So as you can see here, will see that we're focused on 1, 2, 3 moves, and as you will see here, they all play out inch perfect as expected. So we drop here 176 pips as expected, we push up 440 pips as expected, and then we drop 900 pips. So as you can see here, you can add this up. It's 1,400 plus 176, so that's about 1,600 move in this 1, 2, 3 on New Zealand Chief. All right, so let's get down into what we expect the market to do coming into the new week. So let's get right onto it. So there's nothing really that is going to change as far as the market this week. We're still going to anticipate that the DXY will continue to push to the upside. So you don't want to just chase the market. Remember, you need to anticipate the market, not chase. If you find yourself chasing, you are risking and you will not be profitable. So what you're looking here is continuation to the upside. Why am I saying continuation to the upside into the new week as well? Let's have a look at the euro structure. You'll see why we're expecting continuation to the upside. This is the euro structure, the chart that we've got on our website. You will see that that move that I showed last week, where I was anticipating that this will continue to push to the downside, is only starting these 5 waves. So we are still expecting that these 5 waves in the 1 hour will play, or in the 4 hour will play out. So let's just have a look here on the actual chart. So we're still anticipating that we're gonna have 5 waves at least. So if you look at this, it's only just the 1, it's a 2. We are still anticipating that we're gonna have another one like that. So wait for a pullback. If you don't get a pullback, there's no opportunity for you to get to rally, rather to get involved on this one. All right, so that is a euro US dollar. Let's have a look at the rest. Pound US dollar, we've already spoken about this. This is still continuing to drop. So only if you get a pullback that is similar in size and degree as this one here. So something similar in size and degree, only then you can get involved. Otherwise, if you don't have that, pound is just going to continue to drop. So there's no new trade there. So we've already talked about the US dollar pairs in depth. So just expect continuation to the upside all around on all the US dollar pairs. US dollar chief, expect continuation to the upside on all of them. So we're going to see continuation to the upside here, but you don't want to be trading at those levels. So you just want to see, you want a pullback, a clear pullback with a clear entry, so you can get involved there. Audi US dollar similar, as well as New Zealand. I'm not even going to cover these again. They are all still bearish. US dollar ZAR continues to push to the upside, but looks like it's at a critical level here now. If I just go to the daily chart, let's have a look at the daily chart on US dollar ZAR. is this the end of the move as far as US dollar ZAR is concerned? Because what we have here is 1, 2, 3, and we've got here internal structures 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, rather, let's do it like that. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you've got here 1, 2, 3. So US dollar ZAR could be making a WXY corrective structure around this level, but has not shown any signs of reversal as yet. So let's see here if we're going to have US dollar ZAR reversing from around this area for this move. But for now, just watch that to continue to the upside as there is no move here. We can get up to this level before the pullback there on US dollar ZAR. Let's go to the yen pairs. As you have seen, the yen pairs, except for US dollar yen, they may still continue to push to the upside. So US dollar yen obviously tracks the US dollar. So if the dollar index is still pushing to the upside, you will expect that US dollar yen will continue to push to the upside. And this looks like a corrective structure. So we're still expecting that US dollar yen will continue to push to the upside. Now the rest, pound yen, why are we expecting pound yen to push lower? So let's have a look here at pound yen. There are two ways in which this can play out. And this is exactly the same analysis I did with pound US dollar 2 years ago. So there are two ways that this can play out like this, be making this flat, makes one more up, and then we drop. Either that or we are ready for this move. Look at the weekly. Remember the weekly that I showed you on pound US dollar? It's exactly the same structure as on pound yen. Now, if this is the start of that move, we are going to drop a couple of hundreds of pips the same way that we had with pound US dollar, because look at this, this is the structure. I'm letting you in here on a bit of a secret of what we'll be expecting. We'll be looking to trade this for the next couple of months if this is confirmed here by our indicator. Now, what I keep saying is knowing direction is one thing, but timing of the market is everything. As much as I'm showing you this, if you don't know how to enter, if you don't know how to exit, because remember with pound yen as well, rather pound US dollar, as much as we traded that, we did not trade all of that in one go. Right? We did not trade in one go. We had entries, we exited, because sometimes, for example, just to give you an example, sometimes this pulls back for quite some big moves. Would you hold if you were in a trade and you were making some money and you're in profit and this thing pulls back for about, look at that, 99 pips there, 100 pips, 200 pips. I need to get this one right here. Let me get this off. If this pulls back for about, look at that. How much is that? It pulls back for 600 pips. Are you going to hold on to that and wait for this to pull back 600 pips without knowing what the move is going to be? So this is why I say, just because you know the move, and especially this being on the weekly, we're not taking trades on the weekly chart. We're taking trades in the lower degrees, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. That's why we take the trades. But you cannot hold on this if you do not know what the structure holds for you. I'm going to give you another example. If you look at this one here, look at how much the pullback was here. What was this pullback? You're holding the trade, pulls back 500 pips. Granted, this has dropped a couple of hundreds of pips, but would you have known, would you have had the confidence to hold when it was pulling back for those number of pips? So look at that. We have now dropped over 3,400 pips. Go watch my previous videos. We spoke about these moves even before we got to these levels. Remember when we discussed these moves, we were here, we're anticipating that this was going to come around here and then it was going to drop. But it's important to know when to enter, because you don't want to be in a trade when this is happening. You don't want to be, what you want is these moves. What you want is these moves. And this is where you want the moves. You want to enter here. You want to enter here because that's where your drops are. All right, so that is pound US dollar. Now pound yen, back to pound yen. Look at pound yen here. Let's go back to pound yen. Let's go back to pound yen. Now, why am I detailing this? I'm detailing this because pound yen could be doing the same thing that pound US dollar is doing, and we could be in for a drop here. We could be in here for this WXY structure, WXY, and it's an inch perfect structure here on pound yen. So look out for that in the next coming sessions. All right. Europe yen, I'm also showing you a weekly chart. Look at that structure. It's a similar structure, 1, 2, 3. I'm showing you the weekly chart here, and if this is confirming, guys, we are in for a couple of hundreds of pips as well, thousands of pips as well for this move, because we already have this one as an ABC corrective structure. This is not an WXY, it's an ABC corrective structure, and this confirming here, we get an entry. We are going to drop for a couple of thousands of pips. Just to give you an indication, this can go as low as 5,000 pips. Are you going to get that? So that is what we're going to be looking at here. Now let's go into the lower degrees. Lower degrees, there isn't much this week as we've already seen the drop. We've already seen the drop. What you'll be waiting to see or wanting is to get pullbacks, clear pullbacks, okay? Clear pullbacks that are informed by your strategy. You should have an entry strategy because that is what is key. Timing of the market, okay? Chief yen, similar. We'll simply be expecting a pullback. Remember, we're anticipating here. This was even our chart of the week. We're looking for this one to give us one more up before the drop. But in any case, we've started the drop. Any pullback here, we'll look for this to continue to the downside. That is Chief yen, New Zealand yen. The same, and New Zealand yen looks to be making this very clear structure here. If we see continuation to the downside here on New Zealand yen, we will be looking at this structure. If you look at this one here, it's a complex B correction there, and we'll have something like this. So this is that, and this is that, and we'll be looking at this one to be an A, B, C corrective structure in the higher degree. So any pullback here, we're looking to get down to this level here, and the internal structure here will be a B, C corrective structure that's in the lower degrees. It's in the same degree, but this is a complex B correction. So that's how we're looking at that. You can see here we've got a nice, clearly defined structure here in the middle. 1, 2, 3. So it's a B in the red degree like that, and then we've got the C there. So any pullback here, anticipating New Zealand yen to continue dropping. New Audi yen as well, similar structure, has already made 3 waves to the upside. So you'll be looking for this to just give you another pullback. So you can have similar structure as that. Okay, so that is Audi yen, CAD yen. CAD yen, similar. Obviously, the theme is for the pound pair, for the yen pairs to continue dropping to the downside. What was interesting here was that the yen pairs were dropping at the same time as gold. You expect them to be inversely correlated, but they have all dropped at the same time in the last couple of days. So that just tells you that the correlation strength between the yen pairs and gold over the last couple of days has not been that strong. Right. Gold, as I was indicating, you can see that gold has continued to drop and the yen pairs have continued to drop. This is supposed to be a safe haven currency or commodity. So it's same as the yen. So now they've all been dropping at the same time. So anticipate that the gold is also going to continue to drop. So the correlation strength there is not so strong. So expect them to continue dropping at the same rate. Now, this is silver. I'm not even expecting this to make one more move to the upside before dropping. I'm expecting that silver will continue to drop here because there is not enough strength as far as the indicator is concerned. There's not enough momentum for it to get to this level. So we should see silver continuing the drop to the downside. All right, Brent crude oil, we spoke about this one during trade recaps. It's now at about 87, and there is a likelihood, I've shown you this a couple of weeks back. I'm going to show you again so you don't miss this. So there's a likelihood that Brent crude oil could go back to the lows of around 2020, where it was about $16. So if that is the case, that means that this will be the structure that you Brent crude oil will be playing out. So this is draw it clearly here. So you would have this one as a and the purple being the B, complex B correction. Complex B correction is a whole model on it. Okay, that's not something that I can explain in this weekly outlooks video. This is what we go through in detail in our course because that's where the money is. If you understand complex structures, you'll be able to make money. So Brent crude oil, very likely that we can have this structure here to come here and complete the C. So we just need to get this one here. If we get continuation patterns here, we can get to those lows here before we move to the upside. Okay, let's keep an eye on that, see how that plays out. Pound pairs, they've been dropping, nothing new there. Let's go back to the lower degrees. There's no new entries as far as the pound pairs are concerned. So don't go and start selling this just because they're dropping, because they can pull back. And as you've seen, you can pull back for about 600 pips, 500 pips. Look at that. So we've since gotten a move. We've got here an entry here. This has been dropping since any pullback. We look to continue the drop. Pound CAD, similar. Pound CAD, you can see it's just a pulsing move to the downside. No new trade there. Same as Pound Chief, no new trade. And this one has made a short squeeze. So those that were in the short here squeezed you out and then it drops. That's what happens when the market is about to drop. It's a short squeeze. Pound New Zealand. So Pound New Zealand was a lot clearer because it made this clear structure before dropping. Look at that three-wave pullback. 1, 2, 3. Very likely that we can just get up to this level as far as Pound New Zealand is concerned before pulling to the upside. EURCAD. So it has just been a bloodbath in the last week. So EURCAD is one that you can still take going into the new week because it has not made a significant move and it is making a very clear structure here. So this one is probably a very high probable trade setup for next week. If you get a entry point here for a continuation to the downside, you can take EURCAD, right? Instead of chasing the others that are already gone. EURAUD. I'm anticipating that EURAUD, as much as you can have this one doing that, one more up, we anticipate that it will drop with the rest of the euros as well. EURGBP, the same. Also made a short squeeze before dropping last week, making a nice running flat. 1, 2, 3 there. You can see even that short squeeze is part of the structure. Okay, and then we drop. Any pullback, anticipate continuation to the downside. Euro pound, we've already seen this one during trade recap. Just expect this to continue pushing to the upside. Every time you get this, expect continuation to the upside. Euro New Zealand, a bit of a push to the upside, but this should then eventually give you a pullback there. All right, so that is Euro New Zealand. The Audi, the cross pairs, you've already seen these as well during trade recaps. Anticipate Audi New Zealand to continue pushing to the upside. This one, as you've seen, that we've been trading this the whole year, and it has already made 1,000 pips from around this level. This is where we got this one here. It has already made this 1,000 pips. So it looks like it's making 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are in the 5th wave. So we should see a pullback pretty soon there on Audi New Zealand. AUDCAD, nothing new there. Should continue to push lower. I'm not expecting this to continue pushing to the upside. So this 3-wave pullback on AUDCAD is a clear indication that we are going to see more downside here. So you can have something like this. AUDCHF, nothing new there, short squeeze, and then the downside. So you can see a short squeeze. We are still continuing to the downside. So since this move here that I've indicated during trade recaps, that is still continuing to the downside. So any pullback, opportunity to ride the trend to the downside. New Zealand CAD, nothing new there. As you can see, it's just a pulsing move to the downside. No new opportunity. Short squeeze with New Zealand CHF as well. So no new opportunity there until you get a pullback. And lastly, you've got CADJPY. So CADJPY, also a short squeeze. Expect this one to continue to the downside. So you may have this one doing this, but essentially what you are seeing here is just a pullback, and this should continue to the downside. Now, coming to the indices, so the indices, there were 2 ways that this were going to play out. So let's have a look at both those ways. So on the S&P 500, what we anticipated was that this was going to be a 3-wave structure, and we're anticipating that this is going to be a WXY. Okay, so with this WXY, we anticipated that this was going to continue pushing to the upside. It pushes, but then it started dropping here. So that led us to believe that this could be making a structure like this. So let's have a look here. A move down here, an expanding flat here, and now we're coming with a drop here. So that will still be a W, a X, and then a Y. Now, if that is a Y here, we should see a deeper pullback at some point before continuation to the downside, so that we can have 1, 2, 3. Let's do it clearly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you would have something like that. So you'll have this one as an X in the middle. So you'll have your WXY structure there. Okay, let's see how that plays out. That is the S&P 500. The DAX, similarly, the DAX, we wanted to see this one make this corrective structure. We wanted to see 1, 2, 3 here. but we didn't get that 3, and this has not made the structure that we were looking for here as far as the DAX is concerned. So let's see here on the DAX, we're looking for this. There's still a possibility for this to make this structure. If not, we're going to update that structure on the DAX. Not clear at this stage. Dow Jones, same as the S&P 500, nothing has changed. We'll also make a similar structure as this 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 there, and 1, 2, 3 to make this WXY, if it is a corrective structure in the higher degree. All right, last but not least, the Nikkei. The Nikkei, we have been looking at this structure for some time now on the Nikkei. 1, 2, 3 up here. You've got here 1, 2, 3, and we've got 1, 2, 3. So we'll be looking at this one to be making a WXY structure. Now, does this mean that the Nikkei is making a bigger WXY corrective structure with this move that is now starting to come down, where we're going to have another WXY as well, WXY. This one being a WXY as well, which means that this will be one corrective structure. Let's do it cleanly. Bigger W, bigger X, higher degree, and a bigger Y. So we'll be watching that, tracking that, but either way, whichever structure it makes, it looks like we're going to see downside on the Nikkei. And lastly, the Nifty. Nifty looks like the move to the upside has subsided, and we are going to see a possible pullback. So we have on the Nikkei, we've been looking at this structure as a WXY structure. Is that all the move, and is it ready for this one to continue pushing to the upside? It looks like we're going to have a bit of a deeper pullback here. So let's see what happens here with the Nifty. Let's expect that pullback on the Nifty. Thank you very much for watching. You must all have a great week. Once again, if you like our content, please subscribe to our channel, give us a like or a thumbs up, drop your comments. We value your input, and hit that bell notification button so that you get an alert the next time we upload a video. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.